Alright guys, here we are back on NR2003 and today I want to talk about some simple setup changes that I like to make to the default setups that make me faster on pretty much all of the tracks on this sim. Now mind you, this is from my own experience and it is on the default cut mod, although I use these rules on pretty much every mod I play and my results are pretty similar. But of course, your mileage may vary. So the first thing I like to do is I'll default out with a fast setup that comes with every track, and I will head straight down to the front brake bias here on the first page. As you can see from the description here, if the car doesn't turn well under braking, decrease the front brake bias. The car on the default fast setup, in my opinion, is pretty stable and doesn't turn all that well if you want to go fast. So I'll usually take this down right away to 68%. That's where I like to sit usually at most tracks. Um, it also says here go with the lowest front bias you can control. Basically, tapping the brakes is useful at almost every track on NR2003, excluding super speedways, of course. Short tracks, you're going to have to brake a lot. Tracks even like California, you may want to take a little tap of the brake on corner entry. What that's going to do is going to help your nose rotate on the entry to the corner. And that is going to be critical because if I know anything about NR 2003, it is that your car will not want to turn after a little bit of a run in the race. Like, I can't explain to you how bad some of these setups can be after a few laps once your tires start to wear away and you're in traffic. I constantly complain about a plowing car on my videos. So maybe you shouldn't listen to me for setup advice, but nonetheless, I like to jack down that brake bias just to help me turn a little bit. Another thing that I'll go into on the drivetrain arrow tab here is grill tape. Now, it says here that more grill tape reduces drag and increases your front downforce, making the car turn better, something that I like. It also makes the engine run hotter. So basically, my rule of thumb is take as much grill tape as you can without blowing the engine or making the car overheat. It's going to make you faster in a straight line, having a higher value here. In terms of your engine, you probably will be safe at 215 degrees Fahrenheit on your oil temps. You can view that on your dashboard when you're driving. Um, this is also going to make your nose turn in a bit better. If your rear end is unstable, you may want to be careful with this. I usually like to get this as high as I can and make adjustments elsewhere if I feel the front downforce is giving me too much turn at the front end. So grill tape is good. I usually like most weather and track situations you can sit 65, 60, 70 even. If it's really cold out, you can be more aggressive than that. So yeah, that's where I like to go with the grill tape. In terms of spoiler, 70 degrees is the maximum value you can get here. So they set you up with a very rear downforce heavy car and a very high drag car. The rear downforce is going to make your car more stable at the back end, but in my opinion, a loose car is a fast car, and we want to be fast in a straight line as well. So I usually take this down to around 68, 67 right off the bat, just because I feel like that's going to give me a little bit more freedom with the car and make the back end a little bit more nimble as well. Because, like I said earlier, tightness is the really bad thing in this simulator, I feel. It just gets me every time. I hit the outside wall before I spin out 99% of the time. So, yep, that's some simple setup changes you can make right off the bat that I pretty much will guarantee will make you faster. Of course, there's a lot more in-depth stuff. People, will get into springs, camber, caster, but for this, you can compete with AI 97 to 100 difficulty on most tracks with just those changes. Um, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel for me if you're new, like and comment on this video, and I will see you guys in the next race.